Hello, welcome to another YouTube video. Now this one is a little bit of a different one. This is going to be about the State of Origin Queensland team. They've got an open training session down on the sunny coast, so I thought I would take the trip down this morning to go and watch, be a little bit of a rugby nose, see what's going on, see what their training looks like. I think they've got an opposed session. So this video is going to be 3 things I learnt from the Queensland Maroons State of Origin team and their training session, how they prepare for the State of Origin test series that is coming up. So quite excited to have a little look at it. Obviously Union's my main background, but I've dipped into a little bit of league stuff. I've got a few rugby league clients and stuff like that, and I doubt there's too many dissimilar kind of components within a training session, but I'm interested to see how they prep and how they run through their session, especially the intensity, the duration, things like that. Obviously set piece isn't as big of a component of the game with regards to Union, so they're probably not going to be doing forwards and back splits, but I'll be excited to see the size of them, the athletes just sipping on a Rockaby. Unbelievable. I think they've only got these in Australia, but these are unreal. So I'm going to take you along, hopefully get a little bit of footage if I'm allowed, and I'll see you there.
I'm just going to do a little bit of a warm-up. We're going to do a photo. We'll get them all together here.
Three main takeaways from that training session. It was bloody hot. I've caught the sun. That's not one, joking. Probably the first thing is the individual prep. Now all of them have different ways of prepping themselves for a training session, which I think is really important. I think a lot of athletes will just kind of do the team warm-up and actually not make time for themselves. Now if you've played rugby for a long time, everyone's going to have different areas to kind of make sure they're really focusing on and giving like the time to. So past injuries, maybe niggles that they're managing, and actually it was really refreshing to see that they're making time for those areas. So some people will be doing extra speed mechanics, some of the athletes will be doing extra activation kind of series before they go into the team warm-up. And then the team warm-up from the S&C side of things was snappy, it was precise, there was exposure to high speed, which was excellent. So just making time for individual prep before you go into like the team warm-up, I think is a really pertinent point, and I think a lot of people would probably benefit from that, because the team warm-up is probably, I'm not saying it's vague, but it's very much a tick box kind of exercise to make sure that you're ready for the demands of training. However, use that time prior to that for your own individual prep. I think is really important. The second one is going to be probably the attention to detail with regards to all the little skills that they were doing, the drills they were doing as a team. Now, when you're in probably not the professional environment, there's always going to be that one person that doesn't quite switch on to knowing what they're doing, and it just ruins the whole flow of how that training session goes. So I think that was massive. Every single person, 1 to 23 in that squad, was switched on. and knew everything that was going on. So there was no mistakes in any of the drills, and that just helps a warm-up flow really well. So making sure people are clued in, they're switched on mentally as well as physically, and they're ready for, and they know what they're doing, they know their role, they know their job, they know exactly what that drill is, so there's no breakdown and no miscommunication within that session. So I think again that was hugely important, and really nice to see how clued in everyone was for each drill. The last one is probably just the intensity with everything they do. They don't half-ass anything. You know, if the coach is calling the shots for a new drill, it's not a case of they just warm into it. They've used their individual prep time, they've had their team warm up, they're ready to go into everything. So the intensity, the speed, the precision, the accuracy was all second to none. And that's why they're the best, isn't it? Like, everything they do at 100 miles an hour, and it's maximum intensity and intent with all the drills. Now, that doesn't mean I'm saying they're shotting everyone when it becomes a contact drill, but the intent's there, and the accuracy's there as well. So just training at that extra level, that extra speed, you know, from the get-go, rather than kind of warming into the session. I think that's probably just a case of individuals pushing the standards as well as their coaches. So a real pertinent point, and again something that I think everyone can probably take into doing that in their team scenario. I know for myself, when you're in a team setting, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 drills before you really get into it, and actually the biggest kind of difference there was 100% straight from the get-go, and they're probably getting in really good reps. So again, it was really enjoyable to see. Hopefully they bring home the State of Origin this year. But yeah, those are my 3 takeaways. Individual prep, okay, everyone really cluing in to what they're doing, and the intensity at what they do, the skills, the drills, prior to that game. I didn't get any footage of the actual training session because there was a big tannoy saying no filming, because it did an opposed game against the Sunshine Falcons. Again, it wasn't like full Bosch, but it was kind of semi-contact, and yeah, that was good to see. So just running through a load of moves, and the boys are looking slick. I saw 4 tries. I think I left probably 3/4 of the way through, but it was very much opposed attacking, so they're getting to run their attacking sets, and yeah, they're looking sharp. This is just a short video, so hopefully you enjoyed this, something a little bit different. I think, you know, looking at the pro game, everyone strives to be like the professionals, and I think that's good to a certain point. There's certain standards that just don't really apply to the amateur game. However, these 3 points in the warm-up, taking that into your local team and where you're competing and playing, I think will really help you, but also the squad. So if you like this video, subscribe, give it a like, and hopefully you've taken something from it.